Dawson X with the Shade Detectives here. Welcome. We are going to be getting into some of these trials, court cases, rulings, judgings, verdicts that have basically swept the wave, swept the internet within the past week while I have been recovering from COVID. So, there have been a lot of different stories that have been popping off. I have a lot of different feelings and opinions, and we're going to get into them tonight. Um, these are different things that have been discussed while I have been sick with COVID, and now I'm recovering and I'm ready to get into some topics. Roe versus Wade was overturned on, I believe it was last Friday, Friday before last, June 24th, 2022. Now, it was originally uh, made legal in 1973, but over the decades, it has been a controversial topic. Now it has been overturned, and it seems as if the world has stopped. There are so many divided feelings about this ruling. Now, Donald Trump really had an influence on this because his judges that he elected were the ones that actually got this overturned. And as soon as it was overturned, a lot of states started to enforce the banning of abortion immediately. And Judge Clarence Thomas has also sent out a fiat letting us know that abortion is not where the buck will stop. We still are going to be considering overturning contraception and same sex marriage as well. So, Judge Clarence Thomas is letting us know that it is time for us to go back into the 20s. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if black people were put back into, shackles and put back onto slave ships after all of this, because we are going backwards. It is really unfortunate. Now, when you really look into what has taken place with abortion, it really has me scratching, my beard, because I really feel like there is a deeper, more sinister plot at hand. And so I did some research and I found some information that I thought was quite mentally
The
stimulating.
U.S. Census predict within 25 years, non-Hispanic whites will be in the minority in America. In 2019, the census reported a little under 40% of the total U.S. population was either non-white or Hispanic. In the last decade, the number of deaths for non-white Hispanics got bigger, while the number of births got smaller. Meanwhile, the consensus also found that the majority of people under 16 are either not white or Hispanic. The Pew Research Center found from 2000 to 2018, 109 counties across the country went from white majority to non-white. Currently, 60% of the U.S. population is white. Here in Tampa, the census reports 44% of the population is white, 24% is black, and 25% is Hispanic. The Pew Research Center also found in 2019, 1 in 5 people in Florida were over 65, but the latest census shows those numbers are decreasing.
Yes, 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 yes. So there is a bigger fear at play here, and they're trying to make it about, prohibition of abortion and all of this. No, they need white babies to populate this earth because they see that the white race is declining. That's why that woman said, thank you for protecting white life. Why do you think she said it? Because of the information that I just talked to you about right there. That is what they're afraid of. They're afraid of the population increase of the other races. This is why. This is why abortion is being banned, in my opinion. So I wouldn't stress it. I wouldn't sweat it. If you don't want to have a baby, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you use protection if you can. Or you do the pull out method if you can. Um, but like Maxine Waters said, we're going to be having our abortions whether you like it or not, which made me feel like she's just saying that they're going to be throwing their babies into the ocean if they don't want the babies. Like, what did that mean? What do you mean, Maxine Waters? I know you want to reclaim your time, but sheesh. Kimberly Elise, excuse me, I had to cough. She screamed hallelujah. She was excited for abortion. And let me tell you, the black community dragged her like fried chicken through flour before you toss it into a pot of hot grease. They dragged her like her character that got dragged in Diary of a Mad Black Woman, Helen. They dragged her like her husband, Helen, dragged her down them daggone steps and out that house for that half-white woman and them half-black babies. Okay? And all she said was hallelujah for abortion. Because she didn't want her babies, to be taken out of this world. Now, the black community and the women did not appreciate it. But a lot of people feel that way about abortion. A lot of people feel like, hey, I don't feel like it's right, And so I felt like that was a little bit unfair for her to get dragged that way. She hardly comes out, her confidence, she always is a little shy, a little bashful. And y'all gonna drag that woman like that. Poor woman. Poor Kimberly Elise. I need that money. That's all I think about when I see her. That character she played to set it off. Joe Biden. I know you're stressed with all this stuff that's going on. I know that you had plans for this United States of America. And ever since the Republicans took over that Senate, you haven't been able to do anything you wanted to do. And they're doing everything in their power to make you look as sloppy Joe as you look, falling off of bikes, falling up and down stairs, stuttering and mumbling and grumbling on the microphones and having these attitude changes and voice box changes. You are a complete disaster. And the country is flailing under your leadership, and you got the nerve to have an attitude that they don't want you to be reelected. In the election of 2024, they are even thinking that Donald Trump has the potential of coming back if you are running. This is insane. And I know you have a lot on your plate. I know that there is a lot going on. And I know that there is a lot that you cannot control. But Joe Biden, my golly, man. Monkeypox. Now, I remember when Kanye West did that Pete Davidson song, and he used that really graphic image of that bloody monkey. And I thought that that was very, very strange that he did that. Then we heard about them loose monkeys that broke loose in a subway in Pennsylvania, or they broke loose in the woods of Pennsylvania, and they had to go catch them. And I thought that was strange. Then, next thing you know, we hear about monkeypox. Monkeypox is attacking the community. And when I say the community, I'm talking about the gay community, because they said that the monkeypox was deriving from bathhouses houses in Europe, and it was common among gay men. And they were even saying that the gay men that were engaging in gay pride activities this year, that were also being sexually promiscuous or sexually active with multiple people, needed to be aware because they could possibly be, contracting monkeypox. So monkeypox is out here. It is not just COVID right now. Monkeypox is out here attacking the gay mans. So I just needed that to just be put out there, because I don't think that people understand that it is out here and it is affecting people, and they are breaking out all over their bodies in these rashes. I mean, their bodies are breaking out and they are looking bumpy, and they are feeling rather uncomfortable and itchy. And it can cause death if you don't take care of it. But you know what I'm saying? It is contagious, and you need to really watch it. So, gay men, be careful if you're out here doing bathhouse stuff, because monkeypox is no game. It is no joke. It's affecting everybody in the United States, and we need to keep on playing, because it is not a game out here. This little feud between Russia, Ukraine, and China, and I know we don't think we got anything to do with it, but America keeps on dishing out billions of dollars over there to Ukraine, and I know that Russia is getting irritated, and China ain't saying nothing to us about it, because you know that when the buck falls down, China and Russia are on the same side. They are buddies. And what does that say for America? You know what I'm saying? So this is something that we have to also keep an eye out on, because this could go sour. I know that we're saying that it's nothing going on here, that we don't got nothing to worry about because we ain't fighting over there. But Russia and China are still over there in Ukraine, taking over, and Ukraine is begging us each and every day for more and more help. Eventually, we're going to have to go over there. Now, Biden, you can continue to act like you don't understand that, and you can continue to act like you're not going to force us to go over there. And I'm rocking with you as long as you do. But man, oh man, it is looking mighty crazy. And we need to figure out what we're going to do. Now, see, another situation that has been a little out of control in the courts has been this January 6th trial. Now, I was taken aback when, I knew Donald Trump wasn't going to go out without causing a fight. Now, I knew he had caused a lot of ruckus in the White House, and we were just sick and tired of him, and we had to get him out of there. But he was not going to go without causing some sort of chaos, and he caused a riot. He caused them to storm the Capitol, and it was his Trump supporters that did it. And they smeared feces in there and peed inside of the Capitol. They vandalized podiums, and someone died. They climbed up the Capitol walls, and they acted like Neanderthals. They allowed the white glory to fall upon them, and they became their inner cavemen and savage beasts. And they wore their raccoons, and they mounted their horses, and they wanted to lynch and spit, and they drank their old beers, and they said Rima Rose, and this was all in the name of Donald was a disaster. Now, Donald Trump had a lot of explaining to do, and he still hasn't done much. However, the backlash is starting to take place, and
His
Cassidy
speech, where did you go?
Hutchinson has taken
When I
the
returned to the
stand.
White House, I walked upstairs towards the Chief of Staff's office, and I noticed Mr. Ornato lingering outside of the office. And once we had made eye contact, he quickly waved me to go into his office, which was just across the hall from mine. When I went in, he shut the door, and I noticed Bobby Engel, who is the head of Mr. Trump's security detail, sitting in a chair, just looking somewhat discombobulated and a little lost. And I looked at Tony, and he had said, "Did you effing hear what happened in the Beast?" I said, "No, Tony, I just got back. What happened?" Tony proceeded to tell me that when the president got in the Beast, he was under the impression from Mr. Meadows that the off-the-record movement to the Capitol was still possible and likely to happen, but that Bobby had more information. So once the president had gotten into the vehicle with Bobby, he thought that they were going up to the Capitol, and when Bobby had relayed to him, "We're not, we don't have the assets to do it, it's not secure, we're going back to the West Wing," the president had a very angry response to that. Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Ornato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
And was Mr. Engel in the room as Mr. Ornato told you this story?
He was.
Now, let me tell you something. Johnny Depp, we thought that your wife had a convincing voice on her. She had that white woman voice on pack. And let me tell you, she almost had you locked under the jail. Well, let me tell you, Cassidy Hutchinson, she got that white woman tonation on pack. And Donald Trump is shaking in his boots. Now, he had a lot to say. In return, he did reply.
Cassidy Hutchinson, 26 years old. She made some wild secondhand accusations about you.
Crazy.
What'd you make of that?
I thought it was absolutely crazy. This committee is, a lot of people say, illegally formed. But when you look at what they're doing and when you look at what they're saying and what they're doing to the country, now the good news is a lot of people aren't watching. A lot of people aren't listening to it. But they're trying to do real harm. We went through Russia. We went through Ukraine. We went through the Mueller report, no collusion after 3 years, 2.5 years. And now we're going through this. It's a one-way sideshow. It's a horrible thing that they can do to the country where they take this kind of time. They don't talk about making America great anymore. All they do is investigate everybody. And it's a terrible, terrible thing. This lady yesterday, there's something wrong with her? Is there something wrong? She said, "I jumped from a car and I started strangling." Think of this. I started strangling a Secret Service agent who I know very well. I grabbed the steering wheel of a car that said that I wanted guns at my rally. I didn't want guns. I have to speak to, and I don't want guns for anybody.
Did you grab the steering wheel? Is there any truth
Of course
to that?
not.
Is that ridiculous?
In fact, the Secret Service came out and said that this story is totally false.
Yeah.
The woman is living in fantasy land. She's a social climber, if you call that social. I think it's just a shame that this is happening to our country. And we don't have any Republicans up there to dispute it. We have one who quit, Kinzinger, and we have another one who's down by 35 points in Wyoming. She's a total disaster. She's a train wreck. But think of it, nobody to cross-examine. Professor Dershowitz said you can't do where you have a hearing and there's no cross-examination.
Donald Trump Now, you know better than that. You done talked about that poor woman. Cassidy Hutchinson, I believe her. I believe her. And the way you talking about her, you make it seem as if you know her the same way your boy Billy Clinty knew Monica Lewinsky. Now, come on now. I know it ain't nothing that went down like that. So you got to stop throwing hay and straw on people's names, trying to make them seem small, like they ain't about nothing, like their job wasn't worth nothing. She ain't gonna be able to find a job nowhere. The way you acting like she ain't do nothing on a job. The way you sound like the way you said her name was being thrown in the mud. Sheesh. Now, we know you did it, Donald Trump. We know you was up in there really trying to get them people to tear that White House down because you wanted a second term and you wasn't going to get it. So we know you did it. We know you was mad. We know you going to get away with it. And we probably will see you or a semblance of you in 2024 at the White House again. I bet you. Anyway, R. Kelly. Out of nowhere. Now, see, I don't understand where this. I mean, we were in court. We were in court fighting for abortion still, and then they said, you know what? Just lock R. Kelly up for 30 years. So R. Kelly has been thrown under the jail for these sex crimes that he committed back in 1995 all the way up until now, all the way up until like 2016 or 17. The last time they let him out of jail, he was out there chasing after some little boys in McDonald's. So I mean, it doesn't change the fact that he is guilty. It's just like, dang, I mean, we was just dealing with abortion and dealing with all of this and all of that, and then they just dropped R. Kelly on us, and they locked up the king of R&B. Now, he did do those crimes. He did do those crimes. Now, will he call out the others that he has been covering up for all this time? Because he is not the only one. Dame Dash, Jay-Z, so many others. So many others. So R. Kelly is going to eventually snitch. Now, are you going to be ready for who else is trapped up in that closet that he's about to be pulling up out? Who do you think it's going to be? Now, he's locked up for 30-something. That means he's not getting out until he's 80-something because he's already, 50? So if he's locked up for 30, that means he's not going to get out until he's like 80-something unless he gets the Jussie Smollett deal or the Bill Cosby deal. He might be out before you know it. You know what I'm saying? He might be out before you know it. But something has me saying that R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? The only way that you're going to be able to see a significant dent in your time is if you pull out one of the celebrities out of the closet. You got to pull them out. Who is it going to be? We know you got some under your belt. We know you know who you know. And they just all quiet right now. Now, I hope they don't try to Jeffrey Epstein you and have you slipping away in the jail cell because you got information on people that been at R. Kelly Studios doing what they not supposed to do. Because that's what they did to Jeffrey Epstein. He had names and he had people that he knew was doing the dirt with him. And then they hurried up and they got him up out of here. So free R. Kelly, or don't free R. Kelly, but please make sure that justice is served and that whoever did the dirt is going to get hurt regardless of who it is. And speaking of regardless of who it is and did the dirt and justice, Emmett Till. My God. Now, your case is the catalyst of the civil rights movement. They just found a warrant for the woman that lied on you. They found a warrant for her arrest in the goddamn basement Like that was decades ago. So they got the nerve to abolish, to bring back the abortion, to bring back the illegalization of abortion and all of that. However, we still can't get back into the past and deal with this Emmett Till injustice. So he needs justice. We done seen the daggone Hulu special. Wendy Williams done went into the ocean and pulled out Emmett Till's foot and put it on TMZ. And we still haven't gotten the justice he deserves. So that needs to be taken care of. That needs to be dealt with expeditiously. Okay? Okay. Dawson X104. This video was a ghetto, ratchet, hot mess. But I'm recovering from COVID. The medications are in my system. Breaking a sweat. I have more videos coming because Nicki Minaj done went off at the Essence Fest. Beyonce, Drake. It's just a lot of different things to discuss. And I'll be getting into all of it. This is Dawson X 10-4.